Hey all you colorful sprinkles, I'm back, and last time we went to the Spam Museum in Austin, Minnesota, but today we're heading back up from the Spam Museum to Rochester, Minnesota to visit the Apache Mall. We are at the Apache Mall heading into the JC Penney's. Let's see where we end up. Let's find our way through the mall. One of the first things we noticed was Go Toys and Games, so let's head on in there and see what kind of toys and games they have. Maybe they have some Pokemon cards or something? Let's find out. They have lots of Funko Pop, and since the last episode I've actually been looking for the Spam one, and May seems to have found a trophy for the world's largest stoner. They have lots of puzzles and kits and stuff. If you're really into puzzles, this is a great place to go if you're looking for some 1,000-piece puzzles, some bigger puzzles. I cannot stand puzzles. In fact, I really struggle with board games. Apparently there's a Guy Fieri Monopoly. I mean, there's a Monopoly for everything too. But I just feel like I can't sit through a board game. They take too long. All right, where to next? Do y'all want to head into Spencer's first? Hello up there, hello. And Spencer's always got those great shirts and hats.
Back in high school, I bought this hat. My parents hated it though, and then they threw it away. And my teachers wondered where it went when I didn't have it when they were at school.
I love this clown car here. Not really sure what it's from, but I can't show you this section. So let's go over to the drinkware, which $5 is actually a really good deal on drinkware. Here's a fun fact about me though. I've actually worked at 3 different Spencer's. I worked at the one in Daytona Beach across from the Speedway. I worked at a Spencer's at the Seminole Town Center Mall in Sanford, Florida. Rest in peace to that mall. And lastly, I worked at the one in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And one of my favorite parts of the job was this awesome thing here. Now this is just the table, but inside it, which you're not supposed to store it in there, is called a flip fold. And it's a little blue thing that folds your clothes nice and easy. And I want one for my own house. They're super easy to fold laundry. It actually kind of makes it fun. This was not fun, however. Those little t-shirt preview signs, we had to change those all while people were asking us questions, so we had to keep coming up and down the ladder, and it was just a really hard job to do, and they definitely did not pay the employees enough, and they still don't. But it is a fun place for a little bit of nostalgia, and they have this cute little bunny on the wall there. Oh, hey, look, it says Willow. I don't know who James and Tyler are, but Willow! What do you think, Ivy? Should we go get our photos with the bunny? And I guess you gotta sell off all those extra Dubai chocolates and Labubu knockoffs. You know, it's really weird, these little mall kiosks, they used to have interesting stuff there, and I feel like they've become more and more like knockoff things. Now, we were feeling kind of hungry, so we decided to make our way towards the food court. There's also this exotic snack, guys, which seemed to have a lot of chips and candies from around the world. That seemed kind of interesting. But we were actually going for real food, but we kind of got sidetracked. We'll probably head to Hot Topic first and then grab some food. I know, priorities, but we gotta do what we gotta do. It's crazy to think that I'm 35 now and there's still stuff being sold like Invader Zim from my childhood, and it's great to see that stuff still going strong. If you look at Hot Topic though, it's really different from what it was when I was a kid, although I do remember these belts. Remember that, MySpace kids?
For sure maybe, for sure not, for sure for sure bomb.
Alright, and looking around here too, there's a lot of cool stuff, but it's very like, everything's kind of branded, everything's got a licensing thing, and back when I went to Hot Topic, it used to be Trip Pants and Lip Service and all those great brands, and you just don't see them anymore. Same thing happened with their store called Torrid. They had beautiful goth plus size fashions, and most of those just went to the wayside, and they tried to make it more normal, more mainstream, and that kind of wasn't the point of Hot Topic. It kind of sucks, and they don't even have plus sizes at Hot Topic, so it's just kind of unfortunate to see that culture die. It's kind of sad to see Hot Topic leave its original roots, but here we are. This is modern times. Everything is more bland than it was. Even though there's still some cool stuff in there like Pokemon and, You got all the cool shirts and stuff with the band shirts. I mean, those were still there. You can't find those cool trip pants or those Demonia boots.
You know, goth stuff, goth magazines, goth music.
So many cool things. Anyway, I'm getting frustrated. Let's go grab some food. I ended up going with this Chinese food place, which honestly, truthfully, I wasn't too happy with the taste of it. It was very not good. Not good at all. However, the lighting in this area was beautiful. So much so that I had to snap some cute photos. Also, let's head on into Barnes & Noble, since I don't think I'm going to be finishing this, and let's head on over to the toy section to see what kind of cool stuff they have at this one. Have you seen these automatons before? I really love these. They're cute. They go wah, and they sing. And here's a little small one they have too. I bet this one would be extra cute to keep in a pocket. My poor Tamagotchi has been dead for the longest time. I remember getting it in a Toys R Us in the 90s. I like what they're doing with these Funko Pops by giving them little platforms to stand on, like this Pikachu in the grass. The old ones were kind of, you know, just the Pokemon. And, you know, like this Magmar down here, or, you know, they didn't really have a base to stand on. But with this Pikachu up there, it has one. And then there's these little model kits you can make a side up. Look at this little guy here, so cute. Some Monopoly, we got some Pokeball, and of course Battle Academy, which if you're trying to learn how to play the Pokemon card game, this is a great way to start and an affordable way to start. It also looks like someone's doing inventory today. Theory 11's been making some really cool decks of cards. There's like the Elf one, or over here I just bought the Wicked one. I really like that one. It was a pretty deck of cards. Theory 11's been around for quite some time. They got most popular with their Monarchs cards, and they've been popular with Magicians for a while. Some cool backpacks like this Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar one. Let's head over here, see what's over here. I'm mostly seeing models and stuff. Let's see if we can head into the record section. This used to be a really healthy area of Barnes & Noble, and now it's kind of just like an afterthought. They have kept some CDs and some stuff here, but you can't listen to them anymore. You used to be able to sit over by these stations and put on headphones and type in a CD that you wanted, and you could listen to the tracks. Lots of vinyls up in here, some DVDs. Theme Park Magazine. They literally have magazines of everything. And over here, the art magazines. One of my favorite magazines is called Juxtapose, and I've not seen it in a Barnes & Noble in a while, so I don't know if they went out of business or what, but their art was so cool, and I really enjoyed their magazine while they had them going. Like I said, though, it might still be around. It might just not have made it to the area yet. I'm not sure. I'll keep my eyes out for it. So I kind of wandered in here without my friends, so let's see if we can go find them out there again. And now that we have found them, let's head into Box Lunch, another sister store to Hot Topic. Now, one thing about Box Lunch, they have the coolest merch ever, but unfortunately, it is almost ridiculously priced to the point where I could never imagine spending that much money on merch like this. I don't know. This is just a personal preference. I'm sure there's people who are fine with spending this kind of money, but I just can't justify it. There's so much other cool stuff out there, and there's so many indie artists that make amazing things that buying from one of these stores just doesn't feel right. I mean, look at this. $64 for a little sweater. I don't see it. I'm sorry. Another thing about Box Lunch is they have Pokemon cards. Another favorite thing of mine. Unfortunately, $25 for a Pokeball tin, and it's a modern one. It's probably got Journey Together, or, you know, like one of those recent ones. Maybe it's Surging Sparks, but it's definitely not worth $25. You can get these in so many places. I even found this cute little Star Wars little throw, and of course there's a Charlie Brown shirt. I actually kind of like that shirt. It's got Snoopy in the pocket. This Snoopy in a puffer jacket cookie jar is really cute, but you know what's not cute? This little Tesla car out here, or Tesla.
I love Tesla.
Alright, next let's head into the candy store. Y'all like candy? Yeah, alright. First of all, let's see what they got here. We've got some taffies, some gummies. Okay. No grazing signs.
A rules, schmools. I hate rules.
Mix and match. Okay. Ooh, I love these fruit slices. Those are so yummy. Especially the lemon. The lemon's my favorite. And banana heads. Those are pretty cool. I think they're kind of like nerds and crazy bananas here. There's some Lego pieces. Interesting. We'll have to get a little bag started here. Those you can... I wonder if you can actually build with them. That'd be interesting. Don't show Ed and Eddie. Look at this giant jawbreaker. I never understood jawbreakers.
Holy jawbreaker.
They're too much work for very little flavor. Look at all these amazing candies. Some jelly bean flavors. They have a big assortment of jelly beans. This is my favorite. I love the gummy fried eggs. Those are my favorite candy. I love gummy fried eggs. They have them over in the Star Mix in the UK. They didn't have them here, but I actually have some good news. I recently went to the dollar store and found them in the Star Mix. They're bringing them to the US, and now they have gummy eggs again. Okay, I'm gonna babble on about the gummy egg, but look at all this other stuff too. We've got some like gumdrops. We ended up getting some candies here. I separated them by gummy and hard candy. I definitely got myself some gummy eggs and some gummy Legos and some gummy strawberries, and then we got the bananas and some gummy Legos. And May's making herself a bag too, and Ivy's making a bag. Look at all this stuff. Ugh, I'm like I guess an adult in a candy shop. Are we ready? We got our bags full of candy. Let's get them all weighed out over here. It did look like they even had ice cream at this place too. And also, as we were walking by, I didn't actually look in the windows of Box Lunch, but these are such cute shirts. But like I said earlier, I just can't spend $60 on something I'm gonna wear like that. Now it is time for part 3 of our trip. Hi, Mei. It's time for part 3 of our trip where we head on over to Brixton Minifigs. We're gonna leave the mall. I know we didn't get to see the whole mall, but it's okay. And we'll head and check out some Lego stuff and maybe go to Goodwill after that. We're leaving them behind. We gotta let them catch up. Y'all are so coordinated too. You're both wearing like the pink kind of color that's like matchy. So coordinated. That's awesome. You see some weird things in the Midwest, like this giant corn water tower. Alright, here we are at Bricks and Minifigs, Ivy's favorite spot, and as you can see, she's already in the door, not even pausing a second, so I guess we gotta go in and follow her. Let's see what they got inside. Uh-oh, she's found something. What has she found? There's Sonic. Ooh, there's a train. Lavi's gonna love that one. Lavi loves trains. If you got trains, send them to Lavi. Also, check out the Pikachu one that just came out. Yes, finally Pokemon and Lego are teaming up and making extremely expensive kits. There's some Star Wars here. That's one of Ivy's favorite franchise. And look at this. They have like a wall full of like kits and stuff. People have already opened and made, but it lets you see what they look like. It's kind of cool. You don't get to see them always built like that. And just like in the name, they have tons of minifigures as well. Do you see any familiar ones that you might have? Let me know in the comments. Or are there any rare ones that I should notice? I'm always looking for the clown ones, and maybe we'll spot one here at some point. Now, not only does Ivy like to build with the kits, she likes to dig for individual pieces because she likes to make her own builds and she's very creative with it. And maybe in an episode in the future, we'll show some of Ivy's personal builds. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. I'm not super into Legos myself, but this Kanto badge collection is so cool, but it's $200.
Hell no.
Hell no. That's insane, but it is kind of only through the Lego site, or maybe it was Pokemon Center, I can't remember. One of those things. Hey, look at that. We're in Minnesota, and here is a giant Minnesota. That's cool. Okay, so Ivy's gonna hang out in the Lego store. This is her, like, favorite place. Me, Lavi, Bean, we're all gonna head on over to the Goodwill that's right over down the road. I did pick up something at the Lego store, though. Check it out, and my nose ring's crooked again. It's a trend today, I'm telling you. I got this cute little clown. You know what? I'm just gonna put him up on the screen so you can see it better. You'll see it better on the screen when I put it up there. But yeah, let's head on in. Goodwill. All right, one of the first few things I do when I go to Goodwill is I check for Goosebumps books. You gotta get those old school Goosebumps books. I didn't see any, but you also gotta check through the VHS tapes. Sometimes you can find some old sealed stuff. Look at that, an old Star Wars one. Sometimes the VHS tapes have some gold there, especially old horror VHS tapes. If you're trying to resell, a lot of those old horror ones actually sell for a good amount of money if they're still sealed. This one's kind of interesting. It's a rose in this kind of crystal ball looking thing. Although it's got like a smoker's color to it. I don't know about that. Let me know in the comments, but I'm debating to get this if I should paint this like handsome Squidward. What do you think? Should I get this? Let me know in the comments. Alright, it's everyone's favorite section, the toy section. Okay, what the hell is that? That's horrifying. Lately, I've been looking for some cool board games to get for the house, and, you know, I'm checking around here. Remember Don't Wake Daddy? That's a cool one. There's a few of those here. They got some good games. I'm not sure if I want to carry these back with me, so maybe we'll just wait until we get some closer to the house. There's always a ton of cranium. Cranium never sells, and for some reason there's always sealed craniums at every Goodwill. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know. People just don't want to play cranium. How about that? Some DVD players and a sewing machine. There's some cool stuff at the Rochester Goodwill that you kind of don't find it in the La Crosse one or the Onalaska one. Some cool electronics over here. Look at this. This is an old, I believe that's an old voice recorder. What else do we got? Some more DVD players. So if you need a DVD player, definitely check your local Goodwill. You might be able to find one at a good price. Over in this section, they have a lot of cool art. And May found a giant speaker. Look at that. Hey, look, even more speakers and another sewing machine. Although sometimes these sewing machines can be so broken that they're just cheaper to buy a new one. Oh, and look at this, a school desk for anyone who needs to get a nap in. Very good. All right, heading out of Goodwill. Heading home. And here comes Ivy out of Bricks and Minifigs. They actually reopened just for her. They were closed. Yeah. They closed right after we went over to Goodwill, and then they just reopened for you. Why'd they reopen?
So I wanted to grab this USB-C charger, but a little bit of gravel got stuck in here, so I went back in there to like ask them to use like a little katana to fish out the stone in there.
A katana? Ivy's so creative, and I love her so much. Let's head home though, and as you can see, it's starting to get dark out, and as we got further along the way towards Wisconsin, it got even darker. Here we are at French Island, and you can see the Welcome to Wisconsin sign lit up by the night lights there. Wisconsin welcomes you. So my goodness, we made it home. Yes, we made it home, and let's see. Check out some of the things I got here at the Spam Museum. I did grab some postcards. I also picked up the Spam Museum bumper sticker. I'm gonna put that on my car, I think. A Spam patch, and now here's also Ivy. Say hi, Ivy.
Hi.
The Spam patch.
Spatch.
The spatch. And then I got this cute little sweater. It's a like neon Spam sweater. And I got it a little extra big for the winter time, so like I can wear it to like a campfire or something and be all cozy in it later on. I also grabbed some little enamel pins. I got a Spam enamel pin. Spam Town, USA, Austin, Minnesota. And yeah, I think that'll do it for today's vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate when people subscribe to my channel. It lets me know that you love what I'm doing. And also give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if there's some place in Austin, Minnesota that you recommend that I missed that we didn't do in this video, or a place in Rochester that you like that I missed. Let me know. Let me know where I missed so I can go next time I'm up there. I don't know, let me know so next time I'm up there I can go check out these awesome places. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.